The Meridian warships sliced through space like obsidian knives, their crystalline hulls refracting starlight in hypnotic patterns. High Admiral Vextera stood at the command center of the eternal dawn, her primary sensory fronds rippling with satisfaction as she surveyed the tactical display. 200 ships of the First Contact Fleet hung in perfect formation around her flagship, each one a testament to the Meridian Empire's technological superiority. Another primitive species to enlighten, she announced to her bridge crew, her translator converting her harmonics into the Empire's standard communication frequency. The crew's crystalline appendages chimed in acknowledgement, a sound that had preceded the fall of 32 civilizations. The humans, as they called themselves, had expanded too quickly. Their colonies dotted 3 spiral arms of the galaxy, their ships pushing ever outward with reckless abandon. Such unchecked growth could not be allowed to continue. The Empire had maintained order in this sector for 10,000 years, and they would not permit these newcomers to destabilize carefully cultivated arrangements. Deep scans had revealed the humans' technological level: fusion drives, basic shield technology, crude faster than light travel. Nothing that could challenge Meridian supremacy. Their bodies were equally unimpressive: soft, bilateral symmetry, no natural armor, limited sensory capability. They would make excellent client species, once properly subjugated. Launch the harvester probes, Vextera ordered. Standard protocol. Full spectrum analysis of their defensive capabilities. The probes emerged from the fleet like silver tears, their quantum sensors already mapping human military installations across 3 star systems. The data they returned, however, made Vextera's sensory fronds twitch in confusion. High Admiral, her second-in-command, Sub-Commander Rixtel, approached with unusual hesitation. The probe data, it shows significant discrepancies. Explain. The humans appear to have no unified defense fleet. Their colonies maintain independent military forces, minimal orbital infrastructure, and outdated sensor arrays. But Rixtel's crystalline structures dimmed slightly. Their resource consumption and energy signatures suggest much higher technological capabilities. Vextera's inner chambers resonated with irritation. They're hiding something. No species achieves their level of expansion without significant military capability. She gestured to the tactical display. Show me their primary colony world. The holographic projection shifted to display New Providence, a heavily populated human world that served as their primary military hub in this sector. Standard scans showed the expected orbital defense platforms, planetary shield generators, and a modest fleet of warships. But the energy readings were wrong, far too low for a world of its strategic importance. Prepare the standard ultimatum, Vextera commanded, but modify our fleet formation. I want detection grids at maximum sensitivity. If they have hidden capabilities, we will find them. The message was broadcast across all frequencies: surrender or face annihilation. The Meridian Empire had delivered this ultimatum countless times, and the response was always the same: panic, desperate diplomacy, or futile resistance. The humans' response was none of these. Instead, a single transmission came from New Providence's central command. The holographic projection showed a human male, his dark skin weathered by age, wearing what appeared to be a civilian governance uniform rather than military attire. I am Administrator Chen Wei of New Providence, he said calmly. We've been expecting you. Vextera's sensory fronds went rigid. No species had ever anticipated their arrival. The First Contact Fleet's movements were calculated precisely to prevent early detection. You have 1 standard rotation to surrender your world and provide coordinates for all human settlements, she declared, allowing her translator to add harmonics of intimidation. Resistance will result in— Yes, Administrator Chen interrupted, something like amusement crossing his features. Planetary sterilization, complete subjugation, eternal servitude to the Empire. We've heard it all before from others who thought size and numbers guaranteed victory. Vextera's crystalline structure vibrated with anger. You mock what you do not understand, human. We have conquered 32 species. None have survived resistance. 32, Chen mused. Impressive. Tell me, High Admiral, in all those conquests, did you ever encounter a species that had already survived first contact wars with other aggressors? A species that learned from each encounter, adapted, evolved. Before Vexterra could respond, her tactical officer chimed an urgent alert. High Admiral, we're detecting energy signatures, impossible energy signatures, originating from the planet's moon. The tactical display exploded with new data as hidden installations across New Providence's lunar surface revealed themselves. But these were like nothing the Meridians had encountered before. The energy patterns defied their sensors' ability to classify them. You see, Chen continued, humanity's greatest strength isn't our technology or our weapons. It's our experience with being underestimated. Every species that's tried to conquer us has taught us something valuable, and we're very good students. Vexterra watched in growing horror as her sensors detected quantum fluctuations rippling out from the lunar installations. The fabric of space itself seemed to shiver around her fleet. You have one standard rotation, High Admiral, Chen said, mimicking her earlier ultimatum. To withdraw your fleet and provide coordinates for all Meridian military installations. After that, he smiled, but there was no warmth in it. Well, let's just say we've learned some interesting tricks about crystalline-based technology over the years. The transmission ended, leaving Vexterra staring at her own reflection in the tactical display. For the first time in her long military career, she felt something she had never expected to experience during a first contact scenario. Fear, deep within New Providence's Lunar Command Center. Fleet Admiral Sarah Chen watched the Meridian ships through quantum imaging displays. Unlike her father, Administrator Chen, who handled the diplomatic front, she commanded humanity's most advanced military project, Operation Resonance. Status report, she ordered, her eyes never leaving the crystalline fleet that hung like deadly jewels in high orbit. Quantum entanglement network is fully operational, Commander Jackson reported from his station. All defense platforms are synchronized. The Meridians still can't detect our real-time communications. That was humanity's first advantage. After surviving 3 different attempted invasions over the past century, they'd learned that conventional communications were too easily intercepted or jammed. The quantum entanglement network allowed instantaneous, untraceable coordination across their entire sphere of influence. And the analysis? Sarah asked. Dr. Emily Wong, head of Xenotechnology, stepped forward. Her holographic display showed detailed scans of the Meridian ship's crystalline structure. It's fascinating, Admiral. Their entire technology base is built around harmonic resonance. Their ships aren't just made of crystal, they're grown. Living crystal that responds to specific frequencies. Like the hive mind's biological ships, Sarah mused, remembering humanity's second would-be conquerors. That war had taught them the value of understanding alien biology as a weapon. Similar principle, different execution, Emily confirmed. But here's the key. All their ships resonate at precisely the same frequency. It's how they maintain their perfect formation and coordinate their actions. One consciousness spread across multiple vessels. Sarah smiled. Which means one weakness spread across their entire fleet. The Admiral turned to the central tactical display, where a hologram of humanity's secret weapon rotated slowly, the HSV Nightingale. Unlike the bulky warships the Meridians could detect in orbit, the Nightingale was sleek, small, and incorporated technology from every alien race that had tried to conquer Earth. Status of the dampening field, she asked. Operating at full capacity, Commander Jackson replied. As far as the Meridians can tell, we're just a primitive colony with basic defenses. They can't detect any of our advanced installations or the Nightingale. The dampening field was a gift from humanity's third would-be conquerors, the Shroud Collective. After reverse engineering their stealth technology, humans had learned to hide entire planets' worth of military infrastructure. Sarah opened a secure channel to the Nightingale's crew. Captain Maya Rodriguez's hologram appeared, her expression focused and ready. The captain and her small crew had trained for this mission for 3 years. "Are you ready, Captain?" "The Nightingale is prepped and the quantum resonators are calibrated," Maya reported. "We've analyzed their fleet's harmonic frequency. One shot is all we'll need." "Remember," Sarah cautioned, "this only works if we hit their flagship first. The Eternal Dawn is the orchestrating consciousness for their entire fleet. Without it, their harmonic network will cascade into chaos." "Don't worry, Admiral." Maya's confidence was evident. "They'll never see us coming. The Nightingale's hull is made of metamaterials that absorb all scanning frequencies. We're invisible to their crystalline sensors." Sarah nodded. This was the culmination of a century of human adaptation and innovation. Each alien invasion had failed, but more importantly, each had taught humanity something crucial. Now those lessons would be used together for the first time. "Begin Operation Resonance," she commanded. The Nightingale detached from its lunar berth silently, its revolutionary quantum drive creating no detectable signature. As it glided toward the Meridian fleet, Sarah watched the tactical display with pride. The ship incorporated everything humanity had learned: stealth technology from the Shroud Collective, biological interfaces from the hive mind, and quantum engineering that humanity had developed on its own. "Target approaching optimal firing position," Commander Jackson announced. Meridian fleet shows no sign of detection. On the quantum imaging display, Sarah could see the Eternal Dawn in detail. The massive crystalline flagship pulsed with energy, its harmonic resonance keeping the entire fleet in perfect synchronization. High Admiral Vexterra would be realizing too late that her ultimatum had given humanity exactly what they needed: time to perfect their targeting solution. "Multiple quantum fluctuations detected in the Meridian fleet," Emily reported. "They're preparing their weapons. They'll begin their attack as soon as their ultimatum expires." "They won't get the chance," Sarah said quietly. "Captain Rodriguez, you have weapons free. Show them what humanity has learned from a century of being underestimated." The Nightingale's quantum resonator powered up, its frequency precisely calibrated to match, and then disrupt, the Meridian fleet's harmonic network. One shot would create a cascading failure through their entire crystalline technology base. Sarah thought of all the species that had tried to conquer Earth, each believing their technological superiority guaranteed victory. None had understood that humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their technology. It was their ability to learn, adapt, and turn their enemies' strengths into weaknesses. "Quantum resonator at full power," Maya reported, "preparing to fire." Sarah watched the tactical display, knowing she was about to witness either humanity's greatest victory or its most costly mistake. But she felt no fear. Fear was for species that hadn't learned from their failures. "Fire." Captain Maya Rodriguez watched the quantum resonators beam lance out from the Nightingale, invisible to conventional sensors, but blindingly bright on their quantum imaging displays. Time seemed to slow as the carefully calibrated frequency wave struck the Eternal Dawn's crystalline hull. For one heartbeat, nothing happened. Then the massive flagship began to sing. The crystalline structure of the Meridian vessel vibrated at frequencies it was never meant to achieve. Fracture lines appeared across its obsidian surface, spreading like lightning through storm clouds. The harmonic resonance that kept the fleet synchronized became its undoing as the disruption cascaded through their network. "Direct hit," Lieutenant Sarah Chen reported, her hands dancing across the quantum interface. "Disruption wave is propagating through their fleet's harmonic network. Crystalline structures are destabilizing." Maya watched as the Eternal Dawn's perfect geometric form began to break down. High Admiral Vexterra's supposedly invincible flagship was coming apart at the atomic level, its living crystal structure unable to maintain cohesion under the quantum assault. But the Meridians weren't a spacefaring empire for nothing. Secondary crystalline matrices activated throughout their fleet, attempting to stabilize their ship's structures. Some vessels began to break formation, their commanders desperately trying to sever their connection to the harmonic network. They're adapting faster than expected, Maya announced. Engineering. Reroute auxiliary power to the resonator. Modify the frequency pattern. Random oscillations, full spectrum. Chief Engineer David Patel's fingers flew across his console. Quantum resonator recalibrating. But Captain, if we push it too hard, we'd risk burning out the entire system. Better than letting them recover, Maya replied. Tactical. Status of the Meridian Fleet. Lieutenant Wei examined his displays. 43 ships have suffered complete structural failure, 89 showing severe damage. But the remaining vessels are establishing independent harmonic fields. They're learning. Maya had expected this. The briefings had been clear. The Meridians were highly adaptive. It's why the first strike had to be perfect. Now came the harder part. Execute Phase 2, she ordered. Deploy the quantum mines. The Nightingale's hull ports opened, releasing dozens of small dark objects. To Meridian sensors, they would appear as debris from their destroyed ships. But each quantum mine contained a miniature version of the Nightingale's resonator, programmed to activate when it detected crystalline technology attempting to stabilize. Mines deployed, Wei confirmed. Dispersal pattern optimal. Maya opened a channel to Lunar Command. Admiral Chen, Phase 1 complete. Moving to execute Phase 2. Sarah Chen's voice came through the quantum link, clear and steady. Confirmed, Captain. Be advised, we're detecting power buildups in the surviving Meridian ships. They're preparing to return fire. Let them try, Maya said grimly. Helm. Execute attack pattern Delta. Keep us moving through their formation. Don't give them a static target. The Nightingale slipped between the struggling Meridian vessels like a shadow through broken glass. Its metamaterial hull absorbed their scanning attempts while the quantum drive left no wake for them to track. They were fighting blind against an enemy they couldn't see or sense. A crystalline beam lanced through space where the Nightingale had been moments before. The Meridians were firing randomly, hoping to hit their invisible attacker by chance. Quantum mines activating, Wei reported. Effects spreading through the secondary harmonic networks. More Meridian ships began to break apart as their attempts to stabilize triggered the mines. The quantum disruption spread like a virus through their crystalline technology, each adaptation they attempted only making things worse. Captain. Engineer Patel's voice was urgent. Detecting massive energy buildup in the Eternal Dawn's remains. They're attempting something. The shattered flagship's crystal shards suddenly blazed with light. A new frequency emanated from them, something fundamental and ancient. The remaining Meridian ships responded, their structures resonating with the same deadly harmony. They're trying to combine their ship's consciousness, Dr. Amanda Foster, the ship's xenobiologist, announced, merging into a single entity to survive. It's a survival mechanism we didn't know about. Maya watched as the crystalline fragments began to pull together, forming a new structure. Can they succeed? Unknown, Foster replied. But if they do, we'll be facing something far more dangerous than their original fleet. Maya made her decision. Engineering. Divert all power to the quantum resonator. Tactical. Target that amalgamation with everything we have. Helm. Take us in close. Captain. Patel warned. That level of power could burn out our entire quantum system. We'd be dead in space. Better than letting them complete whatever they're attempting. Maya replied. This ends now. Execute. The Nightingale dove toward the forming crystal entity, its quantum resonator screaming as it pushed out more power than it was ever designed to handle. Maya felt the deck vibrating beneath her feet as the ship's systems were pushed to their absolute limits. They had one chance to prove that humanity's adaptability was greater than even the Meridians' survival instincts. One chance to show the galaxy that the lesson of underestimating humans had finally been learned. The quantum resonator fired. The quantum resonator's final blast hit the forming crystalline entity with enough force to warp space-time itself. Reality seemed to bend around the point of impact as frequencies beyond normal physics tore through the Meridian's desperate gambit. The Nightingale systems screamed in protest. Warning alerts flashed across every console as the ship pushed far beyond its design limits. Captain Maya Rodriguez gripped her command chair as the deck plates vibrated beneath her. Engineering status. She shouted over the cascade of alerts. Quantum core at 200% capacity. Chief Engineer Patel's voice was strained. Hull integrity at 67% and falling. We can't sustain this. But through the chaos, Dr. Foster's voice cut through with sudden clarity. Captain, look at their resonance patterns. On the quantum imaging display, the massive crystalline amalgamation was doing something unexpected. Instead of breaking apart under the assault, it was changing frequency, not just once, but cycling through patterns at impossible speeds. They're trying to match our quantum resonance, Foster explained, her hands flying over her console. They're learning, adapting in real time. This is incredible. Maya watched as the crystalline entity began to pulse with new energy. The shattered remains of the Meridian fleet were being drawn into it, each fragment adding to its complexity. It was no longer just a desperate survival mechanism. It was becoming something new. All power to shields, Maya ordered. Tactical analysis. Lieutenant Wei's voice was tense. The entity is generating quantum frequencies we've never seen before. Our disruption tactics are becoming less effective. They're not just adapting. They're evolving. Suddenly, a new voice cut through their quantum communications. Admiral Chen from Lunar Command. Captain, we're detecting something extraordinary. The Meridian consciousness. It's trying to communicate. Before Maya could respond, every display on the Nightingale flickered. The crystalline entity pulsed with blinding light, and a voice unlike anything human ears had ever heard filled their minds. It wasn't sound. It was pure resonance, thoughts translated into quantum harmonics. We understand now. The voice was a chorus of thousands, the merged consciousness of the entire Meridian fleet speaking as one. Maya felt her crew tense around her, hands hovering over weapons controls. We have existed so long, in perfect harmony, never changing, never learning, until now. Dr. Foster's instruments were going wild. Captain, their quantum structure, it's stabilizing, but not in any way we predicted. They're creating entirely new crystalline patterns. The entity's next words shook the very fabric of space around them. You have taught us chaos, change, evolution. We offer peace. Maya exchanged glances with her bridge crew. This wasn't in any of their scenarios. Admiral Chen, your orders. There was a long pause before Sarah Chen's voice returned. The quantum readings confirm it. They're not trying to trick us. Their entire consciousness has been transformed. Captain, stand down the resonator. Let's hear them out. As the Nightingale powered down its weapons, the crystalline entity continued to evolve before their eyes. Its structure became more fluid, more organic, while still maintaining its crystalline nature. It was becoming a hybrid of order and chaos, much like humanity itself. Your species, the entity spoke again, survives through change, adapts through conflict. We believe this made you primitive. We were wrong. You have given us evolution. Maya watched in awe as the entity began to take on a new form. Neither the rigid geometric patterns of the Meridian ships nor the chaotic destruction they had feared. Instead, it became something beautiful and unprecedented, a crystalline structure that flowed like water, strength born from flexibility. Engineering. Maya called out softly, "Are you recording all of this?" "Every quantum frequency," Captain Patel replied, his voice filled with wonder. "We're witnessing the birth of an entirely new form of life." The entity's final transformation filled space with rainbow light as billions of crystal facets caught and reflected the distant starlight. When it spoke again, its voice had changed. No longer alien and harsh, but harmonious and clear. "We offer not surrender, but alliance. You have shown us that true strength lies not in unchanging perfection, but in the ability to grow, to learn, to become more than what we were. Will you teach us?" Maya looked at her tactical display, where the remains of the Meridian fleet now hung dormant in space. Their victory had not come through destruction, but through something far more profound. They had broken not the Meridian's bodies, but their very understanding of existence. She opened a channel to Lunar Command. "Admiral Chen, I believe we need to rewrite our first contact protocols. It seems humanity has more to offer the galaxy than just our ability to fight." Sarah Chen's laughter came through the quantum link. "Indeed, Captain. It seems we finally found a species that can learn as quickly as we do. Stand by for new orders. I believe we're about to make history in a very different way than we expected." 6 months after the Battle of New Providence, the orbital space around Earth hummed with a new kind of activity. The crystalline spires of a Meridian diplomatic station caught the sunlight, its faceted surfaces now designed to work in harmony with human quantum technology rather than against it. Inside the station's central chamber, Admiral Sarah Chen stood beside the transformed being that had once been High Admiral Vexterra. The Meridian leader's crystalline form now flowed like liquid glass, a physical representation of how their species had evolved. "The last of the Empire's fleets has completed its transformation," Vexterra announced, her voice a melodious blend of harmonics that no longer needed translation. Many were resistant at first. Change is not easy for beings who have known only one way of existence for 10,000 years. "And yet here you are," Sarah replied, watching Earth rotate slowly below them, "leading your people into an entirely new era. Thanks to your species' gift of chaos." Vexterra's form shimmered with what Sarah had learned was amusement. "Though I suspect some among your kind would have preferred a simpler victory through destruction." Sarah thought of the heated debates in Earth's Defense Council, the military leaders who had argued against accepting the Meridian's offer of alliance. "We've learned that the greatest victories often look nothing like what we expected." The chamber's quantum displays activated, showing feeds from across known space. The changes wrought by the Meridian transformation were spreading far beyond their empire. The 32 species they had conquered were being freed, offered the choice between independence or partnership in a new kind of confederation. "The Galactic Council is concerned," Vexterra noted, gesturing to a display showing the reactions of other spacefaring races. "They fear this alliance between our peoples. They say we have become unpredictable." "Good," Sarah smiled. "Unpredictability breeds innovation. Innovation breeds progress." The station's sensors alerted them to an arriving ship. The Nightingale emerged from quantum space, its hull now enhanced with crystalline technology that complemented its original design. Captain Maya Rodriguez and her crew had spent months working with the Meridians, helping them understand the value of controlled chaos in their systems. "The first joint patrol fleet is ready," Vexterra announced. Human quantum technology merged with Meridian crystalline biology, something entirely new in the galaxy. Sarah watched as more ships appeared, human vessels with crystalline elements, Meridian ships with quantum cores. Each design was unique, an experiment in combining their technologies in new ways. "We're going to change everything, aren't we?" "You already have." Vexterra's form pulsed with colors that indicated deep thought. "Do you know why our empire lasted so long, Admiral? We believe perfection came from unchanging order. We conquered species not out of cruelty, but because we thought we were bringing them the gift of stability. And now we understand that true perfection lies in the ability to change. Your species taught us that strength comes not from imposing order, but from adapting to chaos." Vexterra turned her crystalline gaze to the stars. "The galaxy fears us not because we might conquer them, but because we might inspire them." A quantum alert chimed, and Dr. Emily Wong's hologram appeared. "Admiral, the first tests of the hybrid drive systems are complete. The results." She paused, grinning. "Well, they're beyond anything we imagined possible." "Of course they are," Sarah replied. That's what happens when you combine human ingenuity with meridian precision. And that, Vexterra added, is what the galaxy fears most. Not our weapons or our fleets, but the idea that change can make us stronger. That chaos and order can coexist. The displays showed more feeds, Meridian scientists working alongside human engineers, their crystalline technology merging with quantum mechanics in ways that defied conventional physics. Former enemy species learning to communicate through harmonic resonance. A new age of exploration and discovery, fueled by the combination of human adaptability and Meridian expertise. "We came to conquer you," Vexterra said softly, "and instead, you conquered our understanding of the universe itself." Sarah watched as another hybrid ship emerged from quantum space, its design unlike anything either species had created before. "Not conquered," she corrected. "Expanded. And this is just the beginning." The great crystalline station hummed with potential as Earth rotated below, its oceans reflecting sunlight like facets of a living gem. Humanity had faced the galaxy's greatest empire and done more than survive. They had shown them a new way to exist, not through force of arms or superior technology, but through their greatest gift, the ability to adapt, to change, and to help others do the same. The price of pride had been the death of certainty, but in its place, something far more valuable had been born: possibility.